Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel From Mora with Love. Today I want to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is 5 stereotypes about Romania. These stereotypes often appear when people in Poland think about Romania, but I want to break them all and tell you what the reality really looks like. So if you are interested, stay with me in today's video. So, stereotype number 1, that everyone in Romania is Roma. This is probably the most popular stereotype about Romania in Poland. People who have never been to Romania often think that Roma people are everywhere and that most Romanians are Roma. But the reality is very different. The Roma community is only a part of population. Officially, it is around 800,000 people, and unofficially maybe even up to 2 million, but still this is not the majority of the country. And honestly, I don't see the Roma community as something bad. They are specific, they can be loud, sometimes they argue, sometimes they make a mess in the areas where they live, but they are also just people like everyone else. Personally, I lived in the Ferentari district and I survived for my first 2 years in Bucharest, and I lived together with Roma people. I even rented an apartment from one Roma guy. His name was Marian. Marian was actually a good guy and he is kind of a star. He plays at weddings and he is quite popular on the internet in the Roma community. His wife also works with him in this business. This is actually a story for a separate video because I have a lot to say about living at Marian's place, but I will tell you that another time. The most important thing is I survived in Ferentari and nothing happened to me. I lived there for 2 years and I'm still here. So no, not everyone in Romania is Roma and not all Romanians are Roma. This stereotype is very unfair and very harmful. Also, in my opinion, many Romanians don't really like the Roma community, but this is also a topic for another video when we can talk about minorities and how they are treated in Romania. Stereotype number 2, Romania is a poor country. Okay, maybe Romania is poorer than Poland. Some of you even wrote in the comments that Poland is more developed, and I agree with that. But Romania does not look as poor as many people imagine. I have been to Bulgaria. Bulgaria really looks poor in many places. I have also been to North Macedonia, and honestly, when I was driving there, I was surprised that they even have roads. But Romania, I think many Romanians also don't really appreciate how Romania actually looks and how life here really is. Yes, many people leave the country. A lot of Romanians go to the UK, just like many Polish people also go abroad, because they don't see their future here or they don't see good opportunities. But still, in my opinion, Romania is not as poor as people think. People here drive good cars. You see a lot of BMWs on the streets, BMW. Many people have good smartphones. Almost everyone has an iPhone. Of course, I'm not talking about poor families who live in villages or even in some parts of Bucharest. Poverty exists, I know that. But in general, people here don't look extremely poor. Sometimes I even feel that people like to show what they have and show their lifestyle. But if they can buy these things, they must have money for them. So for me, Romania is not that poor country that many people imagine. If you want to see what real poverty can look like, go to other countries like Bulgaria or North Macedonia, at least the places where I was. Then you will see that in Romania it is really not that bad. Now, stereotype number 3, Romania is all about Dracula. Many people, especially in Poland, when they think of Romania, the first thing that comes to mind is Dracula and vampires. But let's be real, Dracula is mostly a fictional character from books and movies, not everyday life in Romania. The story comes from a real person, Vlad the Impaler, who lived in the 15th century in Romania. He was a ruler who used very strict punishments, and later his name inspired the Dracula story. So the stereotype that Romania is all about Dracula and vampires is just not true. It's mostly a fictional myth, and real Romania has much more to offer than just that. Stereotype number 4. People in Romania live like in the Middle Ages. Some people think that Romania is very backward, that people ride horses everywhere, that there is no modern life here. But this is not true at all. You can see how Romania really looks. It is a normal European country. Yes, I know, sometimes things here are done in a very messy way, and I experience that a lot too. Merge și așa? But in general, people here live like in another European country. People don't live in huts, they don't live in forests, they don't go to work on horses. Of course, the village is a different story. In villages, people keep animals, and yes, you can see horses there. Sometimes you can even see a horse carriage in the city, like here in Popeștile Ordeni, which in Poland would be a very strange. But this is more about contrast. In Romania, you often see modern life and simply life next to each other. For example, in Bucharest, which I personally don't really like, and I hope to move to a better place in Romania one day, you can see new apartment buildings, and right next to them very old houses. Everything is mixed together. So no, Romania is not a backward country. People here live very similar to people in other European countries, and this stereotype is simply not true. Stereotype number 5. Romania is dangerous and full of criminals. I already said in one of my recent videos that Romania is actually a very safe country and that nothing bad will happen to you here. I will leave the link to that video, but today I just want to repeat it again. Romania is safe. Of course, maybe there are some pickpockets sometimes, like in every country, but personally nothing like that ever happened to me, and I also didn't really hear about many such situations. The only thing I would really warn foreigners about are taxi drivers, because some of them like to overcharge tourists, and honestly I would call that a kind of stealing. But in general, it doesn't matter if it's a big city or a small town, I feel safe in Romania. I even felt safe in Ferentari, the district where I lived before and which I mentioned earlier. This area has a very bad reputation, and the only thing was that I couldn't walk with a camera because that could end badly. So for me, Romania is a very safe country. Are there criminals? Probably yes, because in every country there are some bad people somewhere, but that doesn't mean the whole country is dangerous. And I want to tell you one real story. When I had been living in Romania for only about 3 months, I wanted to do a small social experiment and see how people behave here. I had an old wallet that I wanted to throw away, so I dropped it on the sidewalk and started walking away. And one of the drivers who was standing in traffic got out of his car and started shouting after me that I dropped my wallet. "Ai pierdut portofelul!" He left his car and was running after me to give it back to me. Honestly, I felt very bad because I was just testing people, and his reaction was better than I expected. I thanked him, but the wallet was empty because I already had a new one. Later, I didn't even know how to get rid of that wallet because I didn't want to throw it into the trash. I wanted someone poorer to maybe take it and use it. So I put it on a trash bin when nobody was looking, and that's how I got rid of it. But this situation really shows how people can behave here, and that many people in Romania are honest and helpful. At least this is my personal experience. So these were all these stereotypes about Romania that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know in the comments what stereotypes foreigners have about your country and what you hear most often about Romania. Share your opinions, I really want to read them. Subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and see you next time.